Well, hello, everybody. Y'all, I can never see these flyaways until I get on camera. And then I'm like, whoa, we need to control those. So, hello and happy Tuesday. So, I'm trying something out today. I put a foam cover on my microphone today. I actually had my son, my oldest son, he's 12, sit in the studio, my office with me yesterday. And I was like, hey, we're going to do some test runs to see if I want my foam cover on or not. Because I have been hearing more plosives whenever I'm talking. That's when you hear that like really loud in the mic. And I've been hearing those every once in a while. And so I'm like, oh, I need to, this microphone actually has an internal one. Like, I don't want to like rustle this all around because it'll be crazy loud on your end. But like internally, like under the, I was gonna say plastic cover. It's not plastic, but the metal cover. There's one up in there. There's a pop filter in there. But I wanted to see if it sounded even better. So if you watch these lives, if you listen to the podcast on a regular basis, you'll have to tell me if you hear any difference. You may not. But basically what it means for me as the podcaster is I can get even closer. But I know that y'all don't want me to be any louder than I already am. Like, let's just be really honest. You're like, Crystal, is there a volume on there like to make you quieter? Because that's really what we're looking for. Okay. Like, I get it. I totally understand. Hello. I don't know who this is. Again, with the Facebook groups. So if you're watching this and you have not done already, there is a link to allow Streamyard to show your beautiful faces on your profile, and it will tell me who you are. But I can't see who this is. But I'm so happy that you're here. And sometimes it's usually somebody will say, I've done this like 4 times. I don't know why it doesn't allow me to save and tell me what's actually going on. So, hi, I'm so happy that you're here. Happy Taco Tuesday. My favorite day of the week. My favorite day of the week, because if you haven't been around here, you may or may not know this, but Mondays, I need a day. Like, I need a day to settle into the week. I don't think that I'm alone in this. I think that most people, like, I just think of the movie Office Space. Please tell me y'all have seen this, right? Somebody's got a case of the Mondays. I shouldn't do impressions, but hey, here we are. I've already done it. It's done. So it's a thing, right? Like having a case of the Mondays, like the Monday blues, like you see all these memes out there. Like I know if I'll add a story, I did an Instagram story right before I went live to like let people know, hey, like we're about to go live. Like this is, like we're going live. Here's the behind the scenes, because I like sharing those on stories. So check out my stories if you haven't watched them yet. But when you're in stories and you want to add different features, you can see like there's ones for Monday that people are just like, ugh, like this is the worst. Mondays are awful. Mondays aren't awful. It's just not the day. Like I do Mondays to like do all my catch up stuff. And then I really get into stuff on Tuesdays. And it's when I'm releasing a new podcast episode. And I don't know. There's a different energy around Tuesdays. So I don't know. It feels good. So that's what we're here to talk about today is a brand new podcast episode, how to record podcast interviews in segments. I think that I could have titled this better, like after, reading it. And like I've gone through several iterations of what the title for today's podcast episode would be. But I'll just give you the straight up answer of why I titled it the way that I did. I have a tool in WordPress, because I know y'all are all about the behind the scenes. Yeah, I know it because I get questions all the time about SEO and keywords and all those things. So what I will do is in my content calendar, I have like a rough idea of what I want to talk about. And then from there, like y'all have probably seen my little handy notebooks. This is where I do my analog planning of a podcast episode. Then I will turn it into the digital format, whether that is in Asana or it's in a Google Doc, and then it eventually becomes the outline of the episode that you see in the show notes, and it's what I end up recording. Like, there's a whole process. Like, and that's not why we're here today, to talk about the whole process of me creating a podcast episode. But I did want to tell you about the evolution of this title, because I don't love the title of this episode. I really, really don't. But this is what I wrote, okay? I wrote record in segments. Y'all, I have been loving going back to my bubble letter roots. Did y'all do this? Did you do this in school? Was this just me? Like, did you? I was a cheerleader, okay? I was a cheerleader all through high school, and we had to make signs. And I remember them being like, Crystal, we'll just let you paint stuff. We'll let you paint the stars, because I did not have the prettiest bubble letters, and I still don't, and I don't care because it's fun for me. Nobody else is meant to see this, even though I feel like I've been showing my journal off a lot more in the last week. So yeah, maybe it means I need to get a little better. I don't care. At the end of the day, this is my journal. This is how I create my content. I'm just sharing the behind the scenes with you. Y'all won't judge me. I know this. But I did just want to show you. So record in segments. Like, that is how this started. And so I knew that this was the idea I wanted to use to create this episode, because I get asked a lot when you're recording a podcast interview, what order do you do it in? What order should I do it in? And, anything that I teach, anything that I present to you in a YouTube video, on a podcast, like, all of those are really just me telling you the way that I do it, or the way I've seen someone else do it, or a way that would make your life easier. Because we are all about making our lives easier, right? Like, the processes, the workflows, like, just making it to where you enjoy podcasting. That is my goal. That is my goal. Not for you to sit down wherever you're going to record your podcast and say, I have to record another podcast today, and I don't want to, and I'm stressed out, and it makes, like, I don't know what to talk about. Like, no. Because I've been there. And if that's you, stick around, because that is, we want to get away from that. We want to have you recording podcast interviews, recording solo episodes where you sit down and you're like, man, I know exactly what I'm talking about. I know exactly how long it's going to be. And we're just going to hit record and see what happens. Like, that is really how I record my podcast, and it's how I enjoy it. I so enjoy creating every single episode of the podcast, because I do have systems and processes that allow for me to have everything planned, have a format, have the ability to just make it to where I sit down and I record. I'm not like, oh my gosh, what? I lost my train of thought. No. But in order to get there, you do have to have systems and processes. So today's episode, I really hit on interviews in this episode, and the reason why is because you can just deconstruct this and strip out all the parts that you don't need if you're just doing a solo episode, right? So listen to today's episode. If you are a solo podcaster, you're like, I don't do interviews, I don't have any desire to do interviews, you can still learn from today's episode by listening to the process that happens behind the scenes and then saying, okay, I don't have to do that. Like, that doesn't apply to me. And that's just really how I want everybody to have, like, that, like, what is the word? Like, not learning brain. Like, that's not a thing. I just made that up. But, like, the learning lens, right? Because you have different lenses, like how you look at stuff and dissect information. I want you to just have a constant awareness of, okay, this is one of the ways I could do that. Or I like the way this way sounds, but I think I might tweak it just a little bit. Because that is how I create so much of my content. And I think that it's the way to keep it fresh and, like, keep going. Okay, I totally yeah. If you listen to the Potty Report, I basically just said our tagline for the Potty Report, which is keep it fresh, keep it fun, and just keep going. Maybe I should just change, like, our whole, like, business principle about that, because we always say keep it up. We all have to start somewhere. And while that's true, I love the idea of keeping things fresh, keep it fun, and just keep going. I'm going to think about that one. But I record my podcast interviews before I do anything else. So, hi, I'm so happy that you're here. I love your content. Thank you so much. Yeah, we're having fun just talking about podcasts and interviews and solo episodes, but specifically, I wanted to break down how I create a podcast for an interview style, right? Because we just talked about solo for interviews and why it matters. So the breakdown of how it works for me and my show is, and I can actually show you this. I don't have any interviews this week, today. I guess I should say today. I'm actually going to show y'all real behind the scenes. Ooh, y'all ready? Hang on. Let me get logged in here. I'm going to log in and I'm going to show y'all what it looks like. Because what I will do, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, y'all. I cannot sign into my Squadcast account. I'm going to have to message them. I don't know what happened. It's not letting me sign in. It's saying you don't have the right information. Hang on. I think it was my bad. But anyway, so what I'll do, I will record an entire episode. I was going to show y'all in Squadcast what it looked like, but I'll figure that out in a second. But I would record the entire interview. I'd get it scheduled, get it recorded, and then I would go back and do all the little things that you hear in an entire episode. So last week, I had an amazing interview with Andrea. So if you haven't listened to the episode about podcasters and Instagram, go back and listen to that episode from last week. But in that interview, we sat down and we recorded the entire interview. And then I went back and I added the intro and I added my podcast main theme. And then I added, Andrea's bio and like the parts that I wanted to talk about how we met and how I knew that she would be the perfect person to speak to our community. And then I did the outro. So in today's episode, I walk you through what that process looks like, how making decisions about formatting are important, the actual steps that you need to take to record your episode in segments, and then how I edit it all together. I've done a few episodes. I've done a few YouTube videos on how I edit things together. So if you're curious how I've done this in Audacity or Hindenburg, and you want to know like what it really looks like behind the scenes, I highly recommend going and watch the podcast editing videos, because maybe you'll pick up on some things that I do, and I'm actually going to work over the summer to do some more editing videos, because I know that y'all are always trying to get better. I know, because maybe you're just getting started, maybe you've been doing this for a while, but you want to upgrade your software, or you want to have something that's like a better option for you. I want to put out more videos that can help you piece parts of your podcast together faster, easier, and more efficient. Because what do I hear all the time? The reason why a lot of podcasters want to quit is they don't like editing their show. And this is an excuse. So if this is you, I'm calling you out. This is an excuse, because if I can figure this out, if I can figure out how to edit a podcast, so can you. So can you. And maybe it's just a matter of you need to have more tools in your toolbox, or maybe you just need to outsource it. Okay. And I've had several people say recently, they're like, I don't even care about figuring out how to edit my podcast. I'm just going to outsource it. Awesome. I think it's fantastic. If you have it in your budget that you can hire a podcast manager or someone to edit your podcast, by all means, do that. Fantastic. But do not say that editing your podcast is the thing holding you back. And I feel like there's the rant. The rant is coming, okay? I've warned you. It is coming. When I see that people are so frustrated and overwhelmed with editing their podcast for hours and hours and hours and hours, if you do not have a highly produced show, meaning you don't have music and several like different tracks you have to mix together, it should not take you more than an hour, tops, 1 hour. 1 hour to edit your podcast. And that is if you are moving at a very, very slow beginner's pace. Okay. Like this is just, it's my approach. It's my approach to podcasting, my approach to editing. It should not take you that long. And I actually I planned it this morning. It's a podcast episode coming out next week. And it's about where a lot of podcasters get stuck in overthinking what they're doing. And so many people will say, oh my gosh, I just have to go back and edit out every single or someone, I breathed a little bit heavy in there and I need to cut it out. I can't have that. And I don't agree. I don't agree with that. And I will have editors that will tell me, it has to be perfection. It needs to be studio quality, like Grammy worthy audio. And I'm just like, why? Why do we feel this way? Why do I listen to podcasts all the time that they are literally produced in $1 million studios, and I will hear the host say, I will hear them breathe kind of heavy into the microphone, and they don't shut the whole thing down and say, oh, we got to start over. This is awful. This is terrible. Awful, awful, awful. We're so hard on ourselves. We are so hard on ourselves because we think that your audio file has to be completely without flaws. But I got to be honest with you, y'all, I listen to so many different podcasts, and my favorite ones are the ones where the people are really real. They leave in all of that stuff in there that's just like, oh man, like he probably shouldn't have said that. Like maybe they should have cut out like him taking a big gulp of water or telling his kids like, hey, I'm almost done. Like give me 5 more minutes. Maybe they should have cut all of that out. But at the same time, it's creating that human connection where I feel more connected to that person than if everything was perfectly polished. So most of us here, right, if you're watching this, there's a good chance that you are a solo entrepreneur. Maybe you have a small team of people helping you, and the people that you're trying to connect with are looking for someone that's just a real person at the end of the day, not someone that's perfect, not someone that has everything together. They never make a mistake. I mean, I know that's, if you're hanging around here because you're like, Crystal's so perfect, she never makes a mistake. You're in for a rude awakening, like real fast, because I make mistakes all the time. Okay, here's great example. Okay, and I'm only going to point this out because it's the perfect example of something I just listened to. I have dynamic content on my podcast, meaning I have an ad that is placed at the very beginning of every single episode. If you go listen to that episode, which I recorded recently, mind you, I recorded this very recently, I say a word really weird, really weird in this ad at every single one. So here, I'm going to put the podcast up here. So if you're brand new around here, you don't know, I have the Profit Podcast. You can go check it out here. Oh, I almost pointed to it at the right time. This is my show. You can go listen to it. It's like the first 45 seconds, the first minute, I say one word, really, really weird. Really weird. And grammatically, I don't even think it's the right word. I think I said exact, and it's supposed to be exactly. So I said something really weird because I heard it a second ago. I went back and I was like, wait, what ad do I have in there? And I listened to it and I was like, I totally didn't even say that right. But it's okay. You know what I was trying to say. You'll get the gist of it. I don't have to go back and like mull over it for hours and say, oh my gosh, I'm a failure. That doesn't help anybody. But I got it out there. And next time I will listen back to it and say, ooh, maybe I shouldn't say that word that way. Or maybe I should slow down whenever I'm doing these ads. Or maybe I should record it more than once and then upload it. But here we are. I think the way that you learn is by getting out of your comfort zone and putting your content out there and know that you're going to get better over time. I think that the idea of having a perfect piece of content holds so many people back. And actually, I saw Laura said it right here. I get so much analysis paralysis. I think we all do this. I think that we all get stuck in our own head and we're just like, oh, this is how it should be. Or I listen to this podcast and it's that comparisonitis. This was in Andrea's conversation last week. This is like the first thing. I was like, where a lot of people get stuck in posting on social media? And she was like, oh, was it comparisonitis? Comparatinitis? I don't remember how she said it, but I was like, oh, I love that. I'm stealing that. And obviously I'm stealing it and saying it wrong. But yeah, I just feel like we all get stuck because we're just like, oh, it doesn't sound just like this one. But then you realize this one that you're comparing yourself to, they've been doing it for 10 years or they've been doing it for a while. And you're just like, oh, okay, I just need to practice more. I just need to keep going. Remember what we said? Keep it up. We all have to start somewhere. Yeah, okay. So Curtis says 30 minutes to an hour tops. Just put it out into the world and let the world receive its value. Yes, yes, yes. Like, I need a plastic microphone. I've realized this. I need to go. My kids' their new favorite store is Five Below. And I'm thinking of, please tell me y'all had one of these when you were a kid. Because I feel like they got real popular whenever I was a kid. It was one of those microphones, the plastic ones, where like you talk into it and it echoes. It has like this weird, like one of those, like what a wireless microphone would have on the end. It had like this weird like plastic piece. So I feel like I need one of those, and then I can drop it. Because I have a lot of microphones in here for those mic drop moments, but I don't want to drop any of my good microphones. So yeah, this was a mic drop moment. So Kurt is talking about how long it takes him to edit. 30 minutes to an hour tops. Just put it out into the world and let the world receive its value. So there's something really important in that is letting the world receive its value is giving you the ability to have that piece of content out in the world as it is, as opposed to holding it back and no one ever gets any value of it. Because if you don't put it out in the world, no one's ever going to have the experience of your content and seeing all the amazing things that you're creating. So yes, so Kurt, awesome. Boop, mic drop moment. I need Melanie. I don't know if she's watching. Melanie, I need one of those. I need a mic drop GIF that I can add like up here on my thing. I'm gonna vox you in a second and tell you I need a mic drop GIF, but I need you to help me know how to create it. So I don't know. Melanie's my friend that does live streams, and she knows all the things about live streams, and she can show me how to create a GIF. So I'm gonna have her do that. Yeah, solo entrepreneur and just made a YouTube channel. Gonna try it. This is awesome. Congratulations, Laura. I think it's really cool when you branch out, and YouTube's another one, right? Like I've heard people saying for months and years, I can't wait to start a YouTube channel. This is the year I'm gonna start my YouTube channel. And then they get really paralyzed in, well, I don't have the right equipment, right? I don't have the box lights, and I don't have a ring light, and I don't have it. Like, I just have my phone. Let me tell you something here. If you didn't know this, I have a YouTube channel, and I would say there's over 200 something videos there now. 80%. Not counting live streams because I do those on my webcam, probably 80% of the videos uploaded there were recorded on my phone. Like straight up just on my phone. On my phone. And it wasn't until recently that I got one of these like nifty microphones. I always tell people about this. So if you are going to use your phone, I have this. Let me show you. It's the Rode. And I have a YouTube video that shows you how to use it. Hang on. Let's get in focus here. It's not going to focus, y'all. It's not going to focus, but it's this little bitty microphone that allows you, see, burp. It's not going to focus on it. It's not going to focus. No, not going to happen. Not at all. Okay, I'll stop. But anyway, I love this. It's what I use for my YouTube videos. And when I have to do a screen recording, I use my webcam. And I will say, I did buy a fancier camera. I don't use it right now. I don't use it because it messes up my process and my workflow. I have to record it there and then upload it here and do it. And I'm like, nope, my webcam works just fine. Let's just keep the train rolling, keep it a moving. Because whenever you get stuck in those like kinks, like I'm thinking of, what is it? Like your gears You know, like the thing, like where they show like a machine and the gears are all working together and they're rolling the right way. Then all of a sudden there's like, burp, you get a kink. You get a kink in your system and nothing is moving. Everything is stopped. That's what I think of when people get stuck in that analysis paralysis, or people are just like, it's got to be perfect and I got to have this here. And then I'm just like, you're stuck. Like, your machine is not moving. The gears are not turning when you're overanalyzing, overthinking, and just saying it's not perfect, so I can't put it out there. Just put it out there. Put it out there. Put it out there. I'm going to say it again. Put it out there, because you will get better. You'll get better. Y'all, my very first podcast episode, today's episode, way better. And I'm not even going to say it's perfect, because it's not. It's just better. It's better than my first episodes. So just put it out there. Put it out there. Yes. Heck yeah. Kathy, I think you put this out there a little bit, so I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm just going to whoop, whoop. I need a confetti. I need to tell Melanie to make me a bunch of GIFs. I need a confetti GIF. I need a mic drop GIF, like all the things. Yeah. Mine intro, I say emotions versus emotions. Yeah, see, like it's fine. And I bet no one notices except for you. You are probably the only one who knows that that's there. Y'all probably would have never heard it. Now you're going to go listen to the episode and say, oh, that's when Crystal totally messed up what she was trying to say. But you wouldn't have known if I wouldn't have said anything. So yeah, we are our own worst critics for sure. And honestly, I have people tell me, they're just like, I'm so glad that you messed up, and I'm glad that you called it out, because it gives me permission to not feel like I have to be perfect. And I never want someone to look at me and be like, oh, you're perfect. Everything's perfect. No, it's not. No, it's not. Not even close. Not even close. I had so many files, but technology integration is hard. I get how it can throw off the process. Yes. I think that integrations with a lot of things are getting better. Do not get me wrong. Things are getting so much better than they were whenever I first started with my podcast, but it's still, there's clunkiness to a lot of the processes, but they're getting better. Like, y'all, technology is just blowing me away. Like, this is going to sound really silly, but if you've been around here for a while, you know that I use Asana. It's like my project management tool. I used ClickUp for a little bit, which is another tool that I was trying. I was working with a project manager who was really, really good at ClickUp. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to try this. And like, she loves it. She's amazing at it. She can show me what I need to do. But at the end of the day, Asana is my jam. It is my favorite. And they just released a brand new desktop app. I love it. I love it so, so much. I shared it on Instagram, and someone was like, what? I cannot wait to go to work on Monday. This is going to be amazing. Like, it is something that is so fantastic, but it wasn't there. Like, they just released this. I've been using this program for like 2 years, and they're just now rolling out these integrations of being able to, tie in together Google Docs and Google Drive. So technology is getting there. It is making things easier. I mean, even Buzzsprout, like I started using Buzzsprout in 2018. Y'all, the Buzzsprout you see today is not the Buzzsprout that we had in 2018. It is totally different. But I love how they are keeping up with the times. Technology is getting better. And actually, I have, spoiler alert, I'm going to be talking about Buzzsprout and their brand new Canva integration that they just did. Yeah, I'm really excited. So if you use Canva and you're a Buzzsprout user, or you're thinking about using Buzzsprout for your podcast, just wait. Just wait. I'm so excited. It's going to be good. That video is coming out on Friday. But yeah, so that's all I have for y'all today. So go check out how to record podcast interviews and segments. And if you have not seen it, I have another, where is it? Hang on. I have another thing that I want to show y'all, and that is the toolkit, because I have been talking about the podcast launch toolkit, and I've been getting some questions. And I wanted to actually walk y'all through what it is. So here it is. It's a little bitty picture. I need to put a better one up there. But let me take that one down. So the ultimate, if I can spell, I'm always like, oh, I'm going to spell this wrong. The ultimate podcast launch toolkit. Okay, so here is where you will find it. And I'm going to put this up here. Bear with me one second. This is like the thing that has just been making me so happy. And I'm like, I got nervous. I put it up there. I'm like, wait, did I spell that correctly? So if you go to toolkit.crystalprofit.com, this is what it is. And I'm going to show you because I'm so excited. I'm so dang excited. Let me share my screen because it got a facelift. Okay, this was actually something else. And I just rebranded this. So this is the Ultimate Podcast Launch Toolkit, and it's really fun. It's really cute too. So I'm going to leave actually, let me make this scrolling one. Hang on one second. Make this scrolling so it doesn't take up everything. Let's see. That's so much better. Okay, I'm going to go full screen for a second. And then let me take this off so you can see. It looks weird because it's just sharing the Chrome tab. So this is a really cool toolkit for those of you just getting started. So speaking of like analysis paralysis, if you are stuck and you have not, hang on one second. There we go. I'm like, something is wrong. What did I break? There we go. So if you are stuck, if you have not started your podcast and you're like, I would really love to launch by the end of the summer or at the beginning of the summer, right? I realize summer is like right around the corner. This is the product I would highly recommend. And on the toolkit.crystalprofit.com, that's where I am. You'll land on this page. You can click I'm ready and it will take you can just go buy the toolkit. It's $37, so it's not going to break the bank. But what I did recently, this is what I'm really excited about because I was like, oh my gosh, y'all have to get a walkthrough of what is actually in the toolkit. You click play on this video. And I don't know if y'all can hear that or not, but I actually walk you through. I'm going to show you real fast. Like it's a total walkthrough of the whole product. Like this is actually what you get inside the toolkit. And it's right here on the page where you would go to check out. So go check out the Ultimate Podcast Launch Toolkit. I have like a little bit of a backstory of the things that I wish I would have known whenever I was just about to launch. And then you can read more about every single thing that is in the toolkit here. You can just like click on these little drop down menus and it'll show you what is in there. This is actually, hang on, let's go back up for a second because the launch toolkit piece of it is actually a bonus that was only for my profit podcasting students up until about 6 months ago. And it's really good. It's really, really, really good because it has swipe files. It has graphic images. It has like swipe files. I mean, captions to what to post on social media, emails to send to your list when you're launching, how to tell people, hey, this is how you subscribe, all the things. Like very, very helpful if you're looking for some templates. And then, yeah, a little bit more about me. So go check it out. The Ultimate Podcast Launch Toolkit, toolkit.crystalprofit.com. I'm like, I can say this without stumbling all over my words, but that's all I have for y'all today. So have a fantastic Taco Tuesday, and I will see y'all soon. Keep it up. We all have to start somewhere. Bye, guys.